Welcome to Off the Roster, brought to you by our presenting and founding sponsor. Proline must be 18 plus to bet in store, 19 plus online, and for Ontario residents only. I'm Lindsay Dunn alongside Cabbie and Dan Riccio. We're so happy you're joining us from wherever it may be in the world and on whatever platform it may be, whether it be Instagram, X, I'm still going with Twitter, we've already discussed this, or YouTube underneath the Nation Network. We, as always, to quote CMB, no cocky, have a great show for you. We have Olympian and PWHL star Sarah Nurse, as well as former Toronto Maple Leaf Jay Rosehill, who is also the co-host of Leafs Morning Take. We're going to talk a little bit of music because some huge album news was just announced. But guys, we will start off on the hard court. Raptors in Charlotte. If you are listening or watching and did not watch or listen to the game, and heck, if you did, I know you want to relive this moment as a Raptors fan. Let me set it up for you. 1.6 seconds left on the clock. The Toronto Raptors down by 2. They have the ball on their end. They're going to inbound it. Going into this moment, they were only shooting 18% from 3. And if you've been online, you may have heard the amazing call by Jack Armstrong and Matt Devlin. But I want you to listen and watch what happened on the Charlotte broadcast.
Oh
no! Screams and then no.
Oh, I love that so much.
So man. Good.
Usually the visiting team usually like the home team, when the road team wins, the announcers don't give it like that kind of love. But there was just straight up panic right there, and then just chaos ensued for the Raptors. Usually it's like a more muted response, but Lindsay, that was a great find because that dude just like, I'm sure their post-game show, they're just despondent because they're leading the whole game. And the Raptors were shooting, I don't know, 13% or 18% for the, oh man, I love that. Oh no, please, no.
He can see the whole thing playing out. He can see the whole thing playing out. It's like, oh, we just got to defend the inbound. And then you see quickly, the pick comes and quickly gets open. They get the clean inbound. It's like, oh no, they did it. And it's like, then the shot goes up and it drops.
And another thing, they're just coming off of the euphoria of LaMelo Ball cooking IQ on the drive. And LaMelo Ball didn't have a great game, but like 1.6, nice drive to the hoop. So like, I'm sure the building was like, the Spectrum Center was like, ah! And maybe that's why his voice was already so high and had that kind of energy. Cause they're like, oh, we got this. LaMelo Ball just won the game for us, man. What a gutsy win for Toronto.
Oh, yeah, that was a roller coaster of a game to watch if you were a Toronto Raptors fan. Like, they were having troubles getting their shot to drop, but before the half, I don't even think they had 10 assists combined as a team. Like, that rock was not moving around well, but there were some great performances. So Dan, what did you think of the game yesterday?
Well, I thought you guys would be chirping me like IQ, IQ, like, Dan, you want more from IQ, and now he hits the buzzer beater to win the game. And he
heard you, buddy.
He was huge. I mean,
he did.
Clutch. He definitely did not. But we hope that IQ will join the show in future. But the way the whole thing plays out, I mean, he was 1 for 7 from 3 going into the fourth quarter. The Raptors were not shooting well at all last night across the board, but he just kept chucking it up. And when BI's out and Scotty Barnes misses a lot of the fourth quarter as well before coming back late, what other options do you have? RJ Barrett picked up his game and IQ had to follow suit. And I love the fact that he didn't lose confidence and just trusted in his game that eventually that shot would drop. But the narrative is so much crazier. Like, if he misses that shot and he ends up 2 for 12 from 3 and the Raptors lose that game, it's like, man, same old IQ. He's really struggling this year. But because that shot drops, it's now hero of the game. And let's see how he can build off this. And I love that for IQ.
We'll take it. We'll take it. A 97-96 win by the Toronto Raptors just a gutsy win. Like, Toronto in this case, they played down to their competition. A team that's 10 games under 500, should not be leading over the Toronto Raptors for like 85% of the game. Now the Charlotte Hornets have now fallen to 13-24, but still like, and I don't know, could this be like a brewing rivalry? BI's from North Carolina, RJ went to Duke, Con Knipple on Charlotte went to Duke. I don't know. They played them very well this season, and they split the season series 2-2. But I want to open with the defensive resilience by the Toronto Raptors. They shot an abysmal, as Lindsay mentioned, 3 for 27 from downtown through the first 3 quarters. This is a historically bad shooting night from beyond the arc, and it usually leads to a blowout loss, but Toronto played elite defense. They forced 18 Hornets turnovers, which led to 22 points. And equally as important, the Raptors held Charlotte to 24 points in that final 12 minutes. And in that final 12 minutes, playing mostly without Scotty Barnes, who had his right knee examined. He was out for 8 of those 12 minutes, did return, did have a great, provided some space for IQ on that final three-pointer. It was Sion James. He kind of bumped a bit, but just gave him all you need is like a fraction, just like an extra 1.5 of space, and IQ hits the game winner. And as the saying goes, when the defense traveled, when the 3-point shots did not. And finally, it was Toronto's 9th double-digit comeback win of the season. Most recently, Toronto overcame a 21-point deficit to the Orlando Magic. So salute the guys for a defensive, resilient performance. Lindsay, I don't know if you lost your voice or whatever. How did you experience that comeback win for the Raptors?
Oh man, Cabbie, thanks for asking. I just said in the chat, when IQ hit that shot, I was running around where I live being like, oh my God, IQ with the buzzer beater. The exact opposite of Charlotte's call on the game. We're like, no. Like, I'm still reliving in the moment. I love an intense game. I love when they can be gritty and have these comeback wins, like you say. Like, they're the comeback kids. When they're down 21, when they're down 13, you do not count them out. Yes, there's doubters. We're Toronto sports fans. We cover Toronto sports. So there's always a little thing like, are they going to do this? Is this going to happen? But seeing CMB have the most rebounds out of anybody on either roster, let's go CMB. We salute the young fella.
We need an update
boards.
on the Kia rookie ladder. Sorry to interrupt, but CMB is still not in the top 10 rookies according to NBA.com. I don't know. Like, are they just not watching Raptors games? Because as you mentioned, Lindsay, usually the guy is huge for this team.
Oh my gosh, so good. That is his third, I think, straight game of having at least 10 plus boards. Let me see my notes. Yeah, it is his third straight game of having at least 10 plus rebounds this season. That is the third most on the team. I am so excited for Raptors fans and as somebody that loves basketball to be able to cover CMB and just seeing the growth that he's had. And hey, if he's not on that stupid rookie ladder, well, he's on ours. He's number one.
He's number one. We are team Colin Murray Boyles over here.
Yeah. We are not.
He's ahead of Cooper Flag and Con Knipple. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I have to say it. There was no Knipple slip yesterday on the broadcast. Yes, I've been waiting for somebody to drop that, but nobody will because it's terrible. But hey, can we get an RJ stat update from you, Dan?
Yeah, let me check my notes. With RJ Barrett in the lineup, the Raptors are 16-6 now on the season. And RJ, another big night. You know, BI and Scotty go out. RJ shows up. What do you have? 28 points. He has to drive because the 3-ball wasn't falling for anybody. So RJ, yet again, a star for the Raps, and their record continues to be incredible with RJ in the lineup this season.
My Garrett Temple minutes update. Let me check my notes.
Come on.
But we still love G-Temp.
Why are we killing Garrett? We shouldn't be killing Garrett. We're putting our arms around Garrett Temple, I think.
No, we love G-Temp because when he's not playing, that guy is so influential on the bench to all the players. He's supporting them, but you know, he still wants to play, and I'm just manifesting for him to get some minutes, and they don't have to always be the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. Guy can still play and have an impact. I'm saying that as in I want some minutes, and we got Jamison Battle minutes. Let's go. I know, like, they weren't the most impactful, but hey, They gave him a shot, which, can I tell you guys, when I see players getting minutes around this time of year when they haven't seen a lot, and I know a lot of the times it's matchup dependent, or if they're not getting a spark from the players, they'll try everything. I'm like, oh man, is the team trying to shop them and showcase them for another team to potentially take him? But that's the industry that they're in. That's my mindset. All I know is Raps had a great game. When we talk about IQ, he was asked after the game, like, when their shot is not falling and kind of as a team, what are the conversations like on the bench and in the locker room?
I feel like our bench did a great job just throughout the whole game. I feel like some games you might have where guys are missing shots and nobody's saying nothing to each other. But a lot of the coaches, players behind the bench, we were just all engaged. Like, we're going to make shots, stay with it, keep going, keep chopping wood, carrying water. It's going to turn around. So I think that really helped out a lot. Just the engagement from everybody was really positive, upbeat.
I don't know if you guys saw this moment. Lindsay, you were watching the road broadcast, but after the game, he was doing an interview with Kayla Gray, and she was like, they say call 5, and he was like, I had to call God on that shot because nothing was falling for me that night. And I love that Mamu after the game, just his tweet was call 5, or like it was a phone emoji and 5. And I love that. This is a great character win for the Raptors. One thing you were mentioning this earlier, Lindsay, about Colin Murray Boyles. I just had a little bit more on his defensive, on the rebound specifically. Just to acknowledge his high production in the past few games. December 23rd, 12 rebounds at Miami. December 29th, 12 rebounds versus Orlando. December 31st, 5 offensive rebounds against Denver. 9 or 10 there. January 5th versus Atlanta, we spoke about it, his best game so far, 17 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. And then last night, 15 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds, just like important in a 1-point game, just getting those extra possessions. And we know defense and rebounding is just hard work. It's obviously IQ to be in the right position to pull down those boards, but it's all effort. And the young fella, the rookie, is playing as though he's like a seasoned veteran, 8-9 years in the NBA, and playing filling an important void left by Jakob Poeltl, who we're still not sure of his timeline of when he will return because he's nursing a bad back. It's been great for us to watch on this show, and obviously Raptors as well, to see Colin Murray Boyles just take incremental steps forward as he's developing and improving. This is a fun young team that we have the pleasure to watch like every game.
Yeah, I'm so excited because you're right, and there's just so many good moments, and we're seeing the progress of these players. I think for some people, they've already went past the expectations they had set for them. This whole team has actually went past the expectations, especially the win column that a lot of people had them for. So I'm excited for them. But yeah, you mentioned Yak not being in there. Brandon Ingram went down in the game with the right thumb sprain. And when that happened, so I'm watching the away broadcast, I may have said a word that's not appropriate for
rhymes with truck
or anything. Almost. Yeah. There was actually, I think, a couple words. Like, and
I feel like Lindsay, you would be like, oh, shut the front door. Jeez.
Yeah, Grandma Lindsay come out or the regular Lindsay come out last night as far as language
regular
goes.
Lindsay absolutely did when it came to language.
Spicy
like,
Lindsay.
Grandma Lindsay would not have been happy. She's like, you should have said frigid stove, because you feel for any player. It's like, we've spoken about this with the Leafs, like Chris Tanev, you're like, they're just coming back from an injury. They're in their groove, or they're getting in the groove, and you want to see them play well. But Ingram going down, I was like, oh no, this is an impact on the team. He's one of the top scorers for them. You can see him. He'll make plays on and off the glass. He can move that rock around. But I'm going to give you guys a bit of a controversial take. So I know the all-star voting, he's pretty high in there. Yeah, let's keep the voting up, but let's also keep it down, because as much as you want to see the players go there, and I know a lot of them get a nice hefty salary bonus for going, I do want them to rest, especially if maybe they're not feeling too great, because Scotty Barnes is lovely, and he can be such like I can't even think of a proper term right now, but he can be so disturbing on the court. I'm afraid in the All-Star game he'll just do something so ridiculous to like get a loose ball or something. He's gonna hurt himself. But what was your reaction when you saw Brandon Ingram get hurt? Cabbie, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, he had 11 points in the first quarter too, and I was like, oh. Truck, like I mean, and he was like, I was like, oh, he's gonna hit this 22.5, like he's gonna hit this over on his on his player prop last night, and I know I'm sorry to just bring this down to talk about gambling, but I was like, oh, and it didn't play, and he's the guy. He's been the guy in crucial moments to go get a bucket. He's a walking bucket getter, and it was awesome to see RJ fill that role for the Toronto Raptors. And yeah, when the three-point shots weren't falling as dense, we have all said, RJ just went to the rack, whether it was like, it was a drive, hezzy, pivot, fade away, or just bully ball. Man, RJ playing bully ball. Actually, it was Con Knipple who's just getting out like shoulders in the chest, boom, laying hard twos. Like it was. I felt bad for Brandon. Oh, one thing about the All-Star. Hold on. First of all, it's bad vibes. We want Brandon Ingram and we want Scotty Barnes.
No, I want
to
them there. I want them on the
but,
All-Star so badly. I just please.
Yes.
Okay.
But maybe they will. I can't. Who's the All-Star? Is it? Who's the All-Star coach? It's who's the head coach for the All-Star game this year? Oh, do we know yet? Because it's whoever's in the 1 seed, right? So it'll be Mike Brown with the Knicks, or I'm forgetting the.
That's fine. Can we phone? I'll find it out.
I'm forgetting the Detroit
OKC's
Pistons
head coach and Kenny Atkins is what it's saying with the quick, terrible Google review. So I don't know if any of this is true.
But hopefully that coach, who won't be Coach Darker, will let these guys rest and not have them playing 20 minutes in the All-Star game. So like Scotty can rest his knee and BI can just have like a hand wrap on his hand. Actually, do you guys remember during the finals how many Raptors had hand wraps on their thumb? Specifically, it was Freddie, it was Kyle, and somebody else had a hand wrap on their. So maybe like there's something magic in a hand wrap, which BI would likely have to wear for the next couple of weeks. But anyway, good vibes only. We're going to send
good
Brandon
vibes only.
And Scotty to the All-Star weekend in LA to represent the Toronto Raptors.
And may they play nice and easy and light and have a great time.
May they play
also,
7
I'd like
minutes.
to say, 7 minutes.
Let's be honest, though. If we were to give these guys some truth serum, right? Like give them some truth serum. Any sport, NBA, NHL. If you would rather go to Cabo for a few days or go to the All-Star game and represent your team, what do you think they'd say? I don't know.
All-Star game.
Really?
It's a big honor, man. And you get to be around the other 23, 24 All-Stars. I think it's guys like LeBron and Steph are probably tired of it because they've been to a million, Kevin Durant as well. But like for guys who have never been, I'm sure they would want to go or have been maybe once before.
Pay. Yeah, in their contract, a lot of them, like I know they make up $1 zillion. They get a massive bonus. Also, if I could just say my first FU to AI of the day, that was last year's All-Star coaches. You're right, Cabbie. They haven't announced them, which I thought so, but hey, screw you AI, screw you internet and your false information. And I'm sorry you guys heard that. But yeah, it's interesting. So the Raptors, their next game is Boston. And yes, I do not want bad vibes. I want them to go to the All-Star game. I just want them to be healthy and safe and good vibes. But good vibes. It was a spicy one in the NBA. We'll have Sarah Nurse on in just a moment. But guys, a lot of Canadians having good moments. But Trae Young officially traded just moments after. Well, I actually don't know if it's official, but Shams broke this news, and he hasn't been wrong yet, I don't believe, that Trae Young is going to the Washington is just what I want to say, because they're Washingtoning this all. I have not heard in my 17 years of covering the NBA any player wanting to go to the Washington Wizards. What is happening? Top preferred destination? No.
It's not the preferred destination, certainly with how things have gone recently for Washington. Maybe John Wall is maybe the last guy that wanted to go back to Washington. I don't know. But what I do know is Trae Young, for as good as a player, I mean, he's a 5th overall pick, and he's been a guy that carried Atlanta to a conference final not that long ago. He's making $49.5 million a year for a reason, but yeah, like his star has fallen. It's a contract that not many teams are willing to take on right now. So he's like, well, I can go to Washington. The guy who drafted me is there, and maybe I'll find my game again. I think there's just not too many other choices for Trae Young right now. And the Wizards get a free look at a guy who's you can ask questions about his defense. He's still one of the best playmakers in the NBA when he's on the offensive side of the ball.
in a meager defense of Trae Young, you're right. Like this guy averages 10, 11 assists a game, or he has been for the last 3 years. And this is kind of like
assists per game last year.
That's right. Yeah. And it's kind of like a feel out, like a trial run with Washington, because he can activate the player option for next year, which is $49 million. And I heard this on the way to the studio today. Washington, so they go from Bradley Beal who had one of the worst contracts ever, Bradley Beal, to I think Chris Paul, to Jordan Poole, to now Trae Young. But in that time, they've been able to save, I believe it's $16 million on the cap and accrue some draft capital. And by sending CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert to Atlanta, Washington, they will send their first round 2026 pay. It's top 8 protected. So they want to lose games is what I'm trying to say. So they can retain that first round pick to continue accumulating draft capital. So this move, even though Trae Young comes with a huge price tag, if they can retain some draft capital and then save some cap space, it's kind of a pretty good move for the Washington front office. I can't remember the GM's name, but that works now. Yeah, the nerds, the nerd alerts, like Dan likes to, or you like to say about Dan, they're like on the whiteboard and they made the math work. So continue mathing, and if this works out for Washington and their young core of talent, and Trae Young comes in like an OG and can continue playing up-tempo basketball, which is they're playing right now, then maybe it works out. But I suppose we will wait and see.
Yeah, we will wait and see what happens there. When you talk about assists, last night in the association, Canada's own Jamal Murray had 17 assists to help in the Hurling. Yes, let's go. SGA.
Who needs Jokic when you got Jamal Murray?
Who needs Jokic? SGA had 46 to beat the Jazz in overtime. We had a couple overtime games last night and a close one. And then Dylan Brooks scored 21 for the Suns against his former team, the Grizzlies. So it was a really exciting game last night. It's like when we talk about the Raptors, you have that buzzer beater by quickly. I love the association. I love when the games are that close, especially when a team I'm covering wins. Like, we're bringing good vibes, guys. We're bringing nothing but good vibes, which is exactly what you guys did before the show. I was washing my mouth with soap because I swore last night about that game winner. So you guys had the chance to speak to PWHL star as well as Olympian Sarah Nurse. Dan, take it away.
Sarah is partnering with Sobeys for their 2026 Feed the Dream campaign, which highlights the families and communities behind every athlete's journey to the 2026 Winter Games. And Sarah, I mean, we've heard about your journey. We know about your journey, but what, as an athlete coming up, like who were those people, those coaches that allowed you to reach your potential as an athlete?
Yeah, I think that it's so special because obviously there's always the team behind the team. And I think with Sobeys supporting me, it really does bring it back to home because you start to think about all of the incredible people, the coaches, my parents, my siblings who have really helped feed the dream for me to get to the Olympics. And so I think of obviously my parents and my brothers who have made so many sacrifices to get me to where I am today. But you're right, like the coaches that I had when I was 7 years old have had an impact on me today. And I still will like go back home to Hamilton and see them and get to talk to them. And they'll talk about when I was just a fuzzy little headed kid who was 7 years old playing on their team. And so there's so many people along the way who, regardless of how big or how small the impact was, like the impact was there. And it's definitely gotten me to the place that I am today.
In your journey, you have climbed to the mountaintop, which is to achieve Olympic gold in women's hockey. Where is your Olympic gold medal currently residing? And a follow-up is, how many times a year do you wear it at events?
So I actually know where the medal is because I moved and I did not bring it with me. It's at my parents' house in Hamilton. So I know its exact location. My parents have it locked down. But It's actually kind of unfortunate because we don't get to share it like as much as we want to. Like our PWHL season is pretty rigorous, so we don't get to like get out and really be like, oh, look, this is my gold medal. But any possible time that I'm going to meet with like a young girls or boys team, I'll bring the medal out. Anytime I have like a meet and greet or a different event like that, because people just love to like touch and hold and see how heavy they are and take photos with it. Because I remember the first time I got to take a photo with an Olympic medal. I met Becky Keller when I was tiny, and I got to see her Olympic medal. And it's so cool because when in the world, unless you win one, are you ever going to be able to see one? And so I love to bring it out whenever I can. So a lot in the summer, I would say.
When you are traveling, through airports or when you're at events, what's the thing that people ask you the most about?
Ooh, I feel like I get a lot of questions. Like from the hockey side, I feel like I get a lot of questions about Beijing in 2022. Like our team was on an absolute tear. And so I get asked about that team and how the event just went for us, because it felt like we had lightning in a bottle. Everything went right for us, but we did a lot of work to ensure that it went right. I think you do have to create your own luck. So I definitely get that a lot. And then I do get asked a lot about where I keep my Olympic medal. So you already killed question number one.
Yeah, geez. I'm like the most cliche person right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, what does it feel like to win Olympic gold? I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. I promise you. See, when we, so when you appeared on the cover of EA's NHL 23, which is like the ultimate flex, some people don't know that we appeared in a commercial together. So it was Trevor Zegras.
You're co-stars.
We were co-stars, although I think I only had one line. I think you had all the dialogue, most of the dialogue. It was Trevor Zegras, Paul Bissonnette, Hillary Knight, yourself, myself, and Nasher were in this spot. And Hillary Knight is the captain of your rival, the Americans. Are you guys, and like I couldn't get a sense on the set if you guys were friends or you guys are frenemies, or like where do you stand now? Because it is likely you will see each other again in February.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I remember that day. I do remember looking at the script and being like, why am I the only one talking in this commercial? But I remember they tried to keep Hillary and I very, very separate. So they were like, her trailer's over here, her trailer's over here. We don't want them to cross paths unless they're on camera. And Hillary is actually somebody who I respect a ton, and we're pretty good friends. And I don't think they knew that. And so they had really taken every measure to keep us separate, because obviously we hate each other on the ice, but off of the ice, I guess they didn't know the dynamic. And so we kind of played into it a little bit, where there's one time, like I kind of side-eyed her and she was like, I don't want to be near her, but it wasn't factual at all. But it was funny to me how they really tried to keep us separate.
Yeah, I think the only times that we were all on camera together was one in the house. We were playing video games or pantomiming playing video games on like there's four of us on this one 3-seater couch. It was
and
pretty.
If you remember, we were on opposite sides of the couch too. So
oh, yes, okay.
Yeah,
and then
they really
and then the
tied it up.
Yeah, and then the rollerblade scene where I am a 0 out of 10 in skating. In fact, I had to brace myself with you or Trevor to stop because I can't rollerblade. And I don't remember if maybe you and Hillary were again separated. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's in the commercial, but that's funny. I wasn't aware that that EA or the director or producer were like, all right, let's keep these. Okay, let's make sure I keep them apart because we don't want them fighting on it.
They came in beforehand and they were like, Hillary Knight's here. She has her own schedule. It's going to be totally fine. There's like not a lot of crossover. And I was like, we're okay.
Yeah, like we're not going to actually fight.
Yeah, we're not going to scrap.
I have one more for you. Okay, so the rivalry series did not go to Canada's expectations, and I don't believe that you played. I think you were nursing, pardon the pun, an injury. You did not play, correct? This year
Correct.
in the rivalry? Okay, yeah.
Correct.
So, so Canada, we got taken to task. We outscored 24-7. Yeah, it was tough in that sweep to our American counterparts. But what are some of the positives that you and your teammates can take from that recent experience? Because the last game was 3 weeks ago in Edmonton, into Milano when you compete to defend the Olympic gold in women's hockey.
Yeah, there's a lot of learnings, and obviously you never want to go in and get beat. And you never want to drop 4 games to a team. And obviously we're out there competing and we're competing very hard. But at the same time, like, everybody does have to remember this is like an evaluation tool for us. And so we're trying to build chemistry, find line combinations, figure out what our best like systems are. And so as an evaluation tool, I think that it was like pretty cool to be able to see what type of chemistry was formed, like what worked system wise, what didn't work system wise. And I think the cool thing about our group is we're very good at integrating new systems and new tactics and new plans. Like, we don't have to like go through it and practice. Our coaches can come in between the locker room and be like, hey, we want to do like a 1-3-1 in the neutral zone. Like, you guys have to pull this off. This is what we want to switch to in the third period. And so I think that we were really trying to work on a lot of new things and integrate a lot of new things. And so I think our learnings from that and being able to actually do that, obviously definitely did not reflect on the score. And we're not going to make any excuses for that because we want to win. But I think that there were a lot of learnings going into Milan.
How are you feeling specifically right now?
Good. I mean, we're going to find out who, I don't know if we can say this, actually. We're going to find out who's going to be on the Olympic team this week. Like, I don't know who's going to be on the team.
Except for you and MPP.
Yeah. So we're going to have some, obviously, chats with Hockey Canada. And so it's exciting. Like, I mean, the thought of going into my 3rd Olympic Games is pretty special. I think last Games in Beijing was so different just because of COVID. And so I'd love to be able to go back in Milan and have my family, my friends there, and be able to share that experience with them, because my parents just had the best time in Pyeongchang in 2018. And so I would absolutely love them to be there for me.
Well, and Milano's probably like a crazy city to have an Olympics in. Like, when you get, transported into the athletes' village, do you get like a real good sense of the city around you, or are you just in this bubble at the same, like, what is it like being in the athletes' village?
Yeah, you are in a bubble. It's like a functioning entity. Like, you don't have to leave. If you don't have to in Beijing, we weren't allowed to leave. Pyeongchang, like, it was a very small area in Pyeongchang. Like, I don't think it's like a huge city. And so there was a beach there. So like, we would leave the village to go to the beach. But I think in Milan, there'll probably be less time spent in the village. I think we'll probably share between us being at the rink and us maybe exploring the city, maybe having some pasta, going shopping. But it'll definitely be a little bit different. But I think we're excited just to get over there and play. I mean, getting to be at an Olympic Games anywhere is so special. And so we're excited to hit the ice in Milan. Hopefully it'll be there by the time we get there.
Yeah, right.
And then check out some cool restaurants for sure.
Yeah, they got to get away from the espressos and back to making sure the ice is ready for everybody to play. But this is the first Olympics since the PWHL came to form. And, you were part of the first year with Toronto, and you're part of an expansion franchise there in Vancouver. By the way, like, the Pacific Coliseum looks unbelievable with the Golden Eyes, fitting in there. And it's been an unbelievable run for the PWHL. But how do you think the league coming together and the growth of the game for women is going to elevate what the international game has already been for all these years?
Yeah, I think that realistically, it just allows us to play best on best, for 30 games a year. I think that that's the biggest thing. Before, like, we would come together and we'd play a world championship, which was 7 games. We'd have a rivalry series, which is a couple games. But I describe the PWHL, it's like Team USA versus Team Canada every single night. Like, that's how tight it is. That's how intense it is. It's hard to make the playoffs in our league. And so every single game matters. And it's not even every single game. It's like every single play could potentially be like a winner or a loser. And so I think that that's the biggest thing. Like, you're just getting really tight and intense hockey that is able to translate to the international stage. And then you have our international players. Like, I have some Finnish girls and some Czech girls on my team. And so to be able to play with some of the best players from those countries every single day, I think, like, there's nothing more that you could want.
Oh, I think Cab is muted.
Yeah, sure, he's muted. I thought it was me.
I'm so sorry. That's my fault. Rookie mistake. I didn't want you to hear me blow my nose because it's wintertime and I have a cold. So you mentioned having international teammates, and obviously you are the face of the Vancouver Golden Knights, or excuse me, not Golden Knights, Golden Eyes, excuse me. And so take us into the room. What kind of leader is Sarah Nurse? Are you the lead by example? Don't say too much, but just inspire your teammates on the ice. Or are you a combo of, in intermissions, you're giving out, not instruction, but you're trying to rally the troops, if you will, say a few things? Or are you big, you're going to deliver a 25-second, 30-second speech before the game, or going into like the third period and then inspiring your teammates on the ice? How does Sarah Nurse lead?
Yeah, I think I'm more of like a lead by example type of player in person. Like, I'm not going to go in and give an inspirational speech. Like, I'm not the one that's going to do that every single period, but I definitely believe that, when there's something to be said, like, I will definitely say it. And I think that my teammates do listen because I am not talking all of the time. And so I think that makes it special too. But I think that I'm actually much better one-on-one. And so I actually like to really create connections with my teammates and speak to them and kind of like obviously get to know them off of the ice, but really recognize what each individual does well and like focus on that. And like, obviously I've been hurt the last few weeks. And so to be able to like watch games, and I'll send messages to my teammates after the game, be like, hey, like was watching this, like great job out there. Like, I love that you did this. And so I feel like I like to lead more in that way and be able to build those connections, because I think that just overall makes you a better and kind of more respected leader. And so I've really tried to lean into that in Vancouver.
Who leans into the music in the room? Who's got the aux cord, or who programs the playlist? I suppose in two places.
The aux cord? What year is this, Cap?
Okay. So, well, I guess the aux cord is not a literal cord. Well, listen, I don't know what they have in the room. It could be just like one single Bose
Bluetooth? I don't know. Maybe, their phone probably.
We have an iPod or a CD player, boombox.
Okay, not a CD player, but okay. You know what? That was my thought. That's my bad. It's not 2009. Okay, fine. Who controls the Bluetooth speaker in when you're in Toronto and then in Vancouver? Who programs the playlist?
Yeah. In Vancouver, like we kind of switch it around because people have different styles. And we have some girls who are like 20 years old, and then we have somebody who's 35. So we have a lot of different music tastes and styles. And so Jen Gardner does it a lot, actually. Michaela Cava in Vancouver as well. And then when we're at Team Canada, Emma Malte and Erin Ambrose actually are probably your two most consistent.
This is the info that we need from you, Sarah. This is why we have you on Off the Roster to like redo hard-hitting journalism. So thank you for delivering. Exactly. One more question for you. Shoresy and Heated Rivalry are popular shows that revolve around hockey. When can we see your first either guest appearance or guest star or cameo in one of these shows or another show which can play on your acting talents and chops?
Guys, I mean, my line is open. Like, I am ready to go. I'm ready to do this.
Sarah. We got to let them know. We got to get you in there. Third on the call sheet.
I've obviously been in the Heated Rivalry. Like, I've been caught up in that whirlwind. And so I've definitely rewatched the show. I've read the books. Rachel Reed actually follows me on Instagram. So that was like my like holiday surprise, which I was like, nice. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But no, I mean, those shows are so cool. And to have even a little bit of hockey, because I don't want to say there's much hockey in Heated Rivalry, but even to have a little bit, I was like, oh, that would be cool to be a part of.
Nice. Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing you on the small screen, like behind me, or like a larger screen.
There we go.
Just a couple more, Sarah, before you go. The 2026 Sobeys Feed the Dream campaign. So I got two food-related questions for you. You've moved to Vancouver. Have you had the sushi? Are you in love with the sushi? Because for me, I will never have sushi again in Toronto unless it's like, the top of the top place.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't think there's very good sushi in Toronto. I lived there for 5 years and I was trying to find a good sushi and I never did. Every single sushi spot that I've tried in Vancouver has been phenomenal. We even have our catering at the Pacific Coliseum. They made us sushi the other day and I was like, oh, like, okay, I don't know how good this is going to be. It was phenomenal. So I'm obsessed with the sushi, obsessed with it here. They torch a lot of sushi here. Yeah, I was like kind of surprised to see that. So that's been new. But yeah, definitely the sushi.
And
I don't like the Toronto slander, by the way. There are some sushi spots in Toronto.
You know that I'm Toronto's biggest fan. I love.
We're not going to stand. No, you're from
I
Hamilton. There's a little bit of there's a chip on the shoulder.
I am from Hamilton. Don't get it twisted. I am from Hamilton. But I had taken up residence.
Fair. Okay, but I'm still not going to take the slander. There's some sushi spots. Sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to hijack the end of the interview.
It's all good. It's all good. And final one, food related. Like, what is the go-to pregame meal? Like, is it carbo loading like Doug Gilmour back in the day? Like, what is the go-to pregame meal?
Ooh, I think it changes. I'm definitely not on Dougie's diet plan for sure, it definitely changes. Like, depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I like to have some rice and some salmon, some chicken. Sometimes I like to just have a sandwich, nothing crazy, but definitely some protein and some fiber. And then a little carb, give you energy, of course.
And I know you recently celebrated a birthday. Happy belated. Saw the picture on Instagram, but I gotta be honest. I wanna know more about the pup. Like, how are they getting on in Vancouver? Do they have a raincoat? How's the pup doing?
Yeah, so that's Romeo. He is just like a little puffball. He has been thriving in Vancouver. He loves it here. Absolutely loves it. He loves the rain. He loves puddles, and so he's thriving. I don't know if he misses the snow, though, because he does love snow, but he hasn't seen it since last year. So we'll see, but he loves it here.
You're going to get one massive snowstorm. The city is going to completely shut down, but just know that it's the one. That's all you're getting is just the one.
Okay, I'll take it. Maybe a little snow day. I'll take it.
Sarah, we appreciate you so much. This has been an awesome interview. We really appreciate your time, and best of luck moving forward. We'll hope for gold again in Milano.
Get that gold, Sarah.
Thank you, guys. Of course, we will. Thank you.
Awesome interview, guys. I love that so much.
Sarah
is awesome. You guys are awesome. The weather is sometimes not awesome, but if we're going to keep on the awesome train, we have Jay Rosehill joining us, who's a former Maple Leaf, former NHLer, co-host of Leafs Morning Take. And I have a lot of questions for you this morning, Jay. Thank you for joining us. The first question I have for you is, what was your pregame meal to talk to us today?
Good question. Everyone asks that, and I think it's I don't think nutritionists would go with the old school of just piling the carbs and the white pasta into you at 12 o'clock and not eating a damn thing afterwards. So I started to get off the beaten path towards the end of my career, to be honest, and I'd kind of go with anything. Like, there was times where I was going to Chipotle and getting myself a bowl beforehand just to say screw it. But everyone's different. But the old school mentality is chicken and pasta, 12 o'clock, and then go sleep for 3 hours. And I'm not sure that's the recipe, to be honest.
I love that. I did not have chicken or pasta this morning. I had potato chips. We're so happy to have you join us tonight. Leafs, they are in Philadelphia. We will not address this right now. Leafs taking on the Flyers. Scott Lawton, it's his first time in Philly since he joined the Leafs. But, Jay, we will obviously talk a lot of Leafs and hockey. But I am from out west. I'm from Saskatchewan. So I've been wanting to ask you this for years. Your dad, auctioneer. Just the pace, the tone that they need to have to get that stock, to get that cattle moving. Did you ever try this?
Wow, you're going deep. Funny, my grandpa started that auction mart. He was an auctioneer. Then my dad ran it, and now my brother's running it. So it's third generation. And I can't say I do. Like, you kind of got to go to school for that. And then after that, it's just a ton of practice. But I'll admit there's a couple times where after a sale, the boys are up top there having a whiskey, and I'll go down to the mic stand and give it my best, but it's embarrassing, I assure you.
Well, not as embarrassing what's going to happen right now, because I haven't thought this through at all. But hey, the Leafs are in Philly tonight. They're going to be playing a game, and they're having a really tough time. A couple of years, earlier they had the sky was falling around. No, I'm kidding. Okay, the sky was falling.
That was not bad. That was not bad, actually.
I've went to many, many cattle auctions and stock auctions. So
Awesome.
I'm from Saskatchewan. We're happy you're here. But, about a month ago, even a couple of weeks ago, the sky was falling surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs. Aside from, a player named Austin Matthews kind of getting it in gear, what is it you kind of seen around this team that's kind of switched it to have more of, positive lights around them? It seems like they're getting back on track.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to argue that it's that intensity. It's the compete level. It's through the roof compared to the way it was the first couple of months of the season, they were flat, they were uninspired, they weren't getting to loose pucks, they weren't being physical at all. They were completely flat, and it was, to be honest, embarrassing to watch. I think the highlight of the low light, I guess, of the whole thing was right before Christmas, a game against Washington Capitals. It was absolutely embarrassing, their level of compete. And I don't know what happened, but that Christmas break, and it happens to be right when they fired Mark Savard, these guys have found a completely different gear, 2 extra gears, and they're competing at a high level. They're playing together. They're connected. They're competing. It's completely different hockey team. And it's the kind of hockey that I think this fan base has been waiting for not just this year, but years in the past as well.
Dan is muted because he was so taken aback by my auctioneer question. Yes. Dan, what's up?
I feel bad about that. But it's hockey is such a simple game, right? You know, like they lose Mitch Marner. There's some different things about the roster, but like at the end of the day, like so much of the game, especially at this level with so much parity across the league, Jay, it's just like you just got to win more battles than the other guys, you know? And a lot of nights games can be decided like that. And we saw the other night against Florida, like they're first on pucks, they're winning more battles, they're winning pucks on the wall. And like the game becomes super simple once you're doing those things. And I think that's the main thing that's happening for this team right now.
Yeah, when things are going your way, it feels easy, and when they're not, it feels like you're a million miles away. But the reality is the margins are thin in the NHL, and any team can beat any team on any given night. But I really think that the ball was in their court the whole time, and maybe it's finally coming around to accepting the fact that Craig Berube wants them to play a style that is conducive to winning, and they just haven't understood that or haven't been able to adopt it yet. But something is going on where they are absolutely getting first to pucks. They are breaking it out clean. They have support. Like against the Panthers the other night, they are coming in layers, and you run into traffic, and there's another layer behind the puck carrier. They are supporting the puck like I haven't seen before. And, you know, it seems to be contagious. Everyone is buzzing and bumped it up a level. The physicality is like I haven't seen this team in years. They out-panthered the Florida Panthers, which is something that I don't think you could say about this team in years past. And unfortunately, they've dug themselves a massive hole in the beginning of the season. And, you know, they need to get into a playoff spot. They're close point-wise, but as far as the standings, there's so many teams that are jumbled. It's going to be a battle all the way to the end, if you ask me, and I really don't know how it's going to go. But if they keep playing the way they have been the last 7 games, I think it'll end up in their favor. It's just about consistency at this point.
Yeah, the rest of the schedule this month is just it's brutal. You know, a couple of times against Colorado and Vegas, you know, flying out west and all these things, and keeping up this effort level is going to be tough with all that travel involved. But one of the things I think that's developed is this third line here, led by Nick Waugh and the 2 young guns in Robertson and Cowan. And I think Nick Waugh's game is just subtly so good. There's so many good things that he does. And one of my arguments early in the season about why this team can still find a level is you think about down the middle, you've got Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Nick Waugh, and Scott Lawton. Not a lot of teams have that kind of talent through the spine, through the middle of their roster. And now that Nick Waugh is finding his game, it's allowed the Leafs to have an extra layer of depth in their roster.
Yeah, it has. There's been some third line combos that work pretty good, but he's been at the center of all of it. And I think that his game's rubbing off on, you know, if he's playing with Nick Robertson or if it's Easton Cowan or whatever it is, just paying attention to those details. Sometimes Nick Waugh does things that you don't even notice or doesn't show up on the score sheet, but they're really crucial. Like you talk about the margins being really thin. And a third line, like, let's be honest, every time a team wins a Stanley Cup, there's a third line, even a fourth line that contributes and that you can put out there and they can log some real minutes. And at the end of the series, you'll look back and you'll be like, no one's talking about it. But in that game 4, that goal that they scored to tie it up late from that third line, that was the difference maker, you know? And I think that they're starting to show that they could be that line and they're coming into their own. And like you said, I think it's led by Nick Waugh. He's got some stability in there. He's got some skill, some offensive upside. Defensive side of the puck, they're good. And against the Panthers the other night, you can see they can bang and crash and be physical as well, which you just have to do in the playoffs. So yeah, a lot of good things coming out of that third line.
I'm sorry.
Guys,
Sorry, Jay.
fell on you
My
both.
bad.
This never
good
happens.
morning,
We're
first
just
Trevor
so
Cabbie.
we're
Jeez.
nervous having the big tough guy on the show. That's what it is.
I know.
I'm the master of awkwardness. Where is there more pressure to play? In Toronto, where there are 500 members of the media and 1 billion people on social ready to take a player's head off? Or in Philadelphia, where a fan might want to fight a player in the parking lot, not fight you in the parking lot, but fight a player in the parking lot?
Oh, it's Toronto for sure. It's not even close. It's people blame the media, but there's nothing to blame. They don't do anything wrong, in my opinion. It's just there's so much more of it. There's so much more appetite for every detail of the Maple Leafs. Like, you go out and at a restaurant, someone's telling you, like, my grandfather sat with me and watched every single, like, it's a generational thing, and it's noticeable. You can feel it when you're going to the rink on game day, and it's this energy, and it's the best part about being on the Maple Leafs, but it's also the toughest part about being on the Maple Leafs. And I've been fairly vocal about the fact when I started doing this media that I want to keep in mind that was the feeling when you're on the Leafs, and whether you're a fourth line plugger like me or you're one of the superstars, you feel it every day. And when you come to the rink after a loss, there's this eggshell feeling, and you can see the media behind the window just clamoring to get in there and ask those questions, and everyone's talking to you at the bloody sandwich shop. It's totally different. Philly's its own beast for sure, and those fans can be maniacs, and they're blue collar and passionate and everything, but I don't think you can compare anything to Toronto.
Okay, so I have one question about Philadelphia. Trevor Zegras is leading the Flyers in goals with 17. He has 6 power play goals and leading the Flyers with points with 41. So Philly played Anaheim a couple of days ago, and Zegras beat his former team 5-2. Have you been able – so I want to play this clip for you. And actually, let me play this clip for you first, which you may have seen is post-game.
Thanks, guys. Down here with Trevor Zegras. What a wild atmosphere here at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. It's fun for the fans, fun for us talking. How about playing?
It was amazing. I missed last year's game, but I heard all about it. I was fired up to play in this one. The boos were great, but the cheers were even better.
Oh, that's awesome. And a team that might have given up on you, Trevor, and you come in here, you pot 2 in that first period. How good did that feel?
Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome, buddy. And I got to ask you about the celebration on the first one. You hung up the phone. Who was it to, and what's that all about?
I don't know. But that's about how quick the phone call was before, so I thought it'd be good.
Okay, so I got in that interview with Scott Hartnell. Jay, have you ever been able to say bleep you to a former team or maybe an ex-girlfriend in the similar way that Trevor Zegras said bleep you to the Anaheim Ducks?
Well, it wasn't, it's not from scoring 2 goals in a return, but my first game for the Flyers, believe it or not, it was in Toronto, and I fought Colton Orr, and we had a little bit of an FU match, and then I scored the game winner, which is not something you hear come out of my mouth too often. So I've had a taste of that before, but unfortunately, I wasn't prepared to do it, and I didn't have some fancy celly all pre-arranged like I think Zegras did there, but that's not really my style.
Oh,
hey, but you did get to say bleep
style,
you,
man.
so nice work, bro. Nice work.
Well, thank you for not saying bleep you to us, because we know the last time we tried to have you on, we had a bit of technical difficulties. We appreciate you. You're awesome. And we know everyone loves you. Make sure to go check them out in I think 7 minutes on Leafs Morning Take. Yeah. Type it in YouTube. We appreciate your time. You got to get out of here because we can't have you late. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much, buddy.
Anytime,
Thanks,
you guys.
Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, Jay Rosehill, go check them out on Leafs Morning Take. It's such a good show. You can find it after our show ends on YouTube. Just type that in there. I believe it's under Leafs Nation Network. Scott Hartnell, you know where that bad boy's from?
Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan.
Regina, Saskatchewan, hometown of yours truly. You better believe I know where every player from Saskatchewan, where they're playing in the league, and I'll bring that up in probably 6 minutes. But guys, we have to talk about the Proline pick of the day, because when watching your favorite sports, make things interesting with Proline. Must be 18 plus to bet in store, 19 plus online, and for Ontario residents only. Please play responsibly. Dan, what are you bringing to the table today?
Well, it's we're trying to get back in the win column here, so I'm going to take a page out of Cab's book and pick on the Vancouver Canucks. He got the Tage Thompson goal the other night. Canucks are going up against Detroit this evening, so let's go with an Alex DeBrincat goal against the struggling Vancouver Canucks for the Detroit Red Wings. That's my pick for tonight.
Michelangelo has carved an iconic statue it was Leonardo da Vinci's David. What am I talking about? This man is an artist on the ice. I got too cute for my own good. The Edmonton Oilers have won back-to-back games to start 2026. This young man, Connor Andrew McDavid, is in God mode. He's got 4 goals in his last 2 games, 17 goals in his last 17 games. Give me God mode for an anytime goal against the Winnipeg Jets tonight. That is my pick of the day.
Hoping both of you are right with your picks. Appreciate everyone for joining us for the show today, but we still have more to talk about because while we're talking about sports here on Off the Rocker also, I'm always off my rocker because we're Grandma Lindsay. It's been brought up in the chat and also Nerd Alerts. I'm like, Regina, Saskatchewan, Scott. Off the roster, we're trying to make things different. We're having fun. We're going to keep things positive, try to bring you different storylines, but we're also going to talk music and entertainment and with those entertainers about sports and athletes about music. So guys, 2026, it just started. Off to a great start because we have got so much music news. A lot of artists announcing new albums for the first time in almost a decade. So Dan and everyone in the chat, however you're listening, I'm curious, what album are you looking forward to this year?
Well, assuming that Pearl Jam isn't, I don't think Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam have a new album coming out.
The way you guys roll my eyes about Ricky Martin, I roll my eyes on your Pearl Jam talk.
I can see those rolled eyes, and that's why I keep bringing it up. It's funny to me, and probably only me. But I'm gonna go okay. I know I'm not the music guy, and people aren't going to come to me for the music opinions as they would you two. But J. Cole, I love his storytelling. I've been waiting for a J. Cole album to drop, and I know he had potentially one with a track that featured Kendrick, and then there was also a track that featured Drake, and then the whole Drake Lamar beef happened, so that all got dropped. So I'm hoping that J. Cole finally gets this album to come out here in 2026. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I don't have a bingo card, but I know you waiting to hear J. Cole would not be on my bingo card in 2026, my G. What a pivot.
I can surprise you.
Yes, you did, man. Wow. Okay, so speaking of the big 3, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole, Drake's album may come out at some point in 2026, so I want to hear Iceman. And I also, maybe even more, want to hear new music from his former lover, Rihanna. Riri is rumored to have an album drop in 2026. We saw her at the Super Bowl halftime show. She was incredible, electric, literally levels in her performance, hovering above the crowd. Her last record was called Anti in 2016. Desperado was a banger. James Joint is just smooth. She's a mother. She's a billionaire. Would love to hear where Rihanna is mentally, spiritually, emotionally in the world in 2026. Give me that. I will be streaming that Riri album whenever it drops in 2026. Lindsay, you are the music connoisseur on the show. So is your list 400 records, or is there one or two that you're really looking forward to?
I really have to tone down on buying the physical copies as well because we're running out of space. Because I listen and I flip albums every day, and I switch the one behind me as well, which today is Molly Hatchet, Beating the Odds, which is what I'm hoping all of us who believe in releasing an album, because it has been rumored for a decade now. We're going to get a new album from her. Yeah. We're going to keep the positive vibes. But someone else who has not released an album in a decade, Bruno Mars. That guy puts out bangers. He is such an entertaining performer. If you have not had the chance to see him in concert, I know it's pretty pricey. The energy that he brings to the show, and also just the energy on all of his albums so far. The only song I've never liked of his is called Lazy Song. Actually, in that one that's Tonight I'm Gonna Marry You, because it's too it's too commercial. But other than that, it's just awesome. 24K Magic was the last album he put out, which earned Album of the Year. So obviously expectations are very high for this album, and I will be buying it, and I'm going to be really happy and giving everyone a review. So I can't wait to hear all of the new music out this year. Some of them will be a little questionable, but really, really hoping that Riri does in fact drop it. And drop your comments on YouTube, on chat, wherever it may be, Instagram, what album, what music, whatever you're looking forward to seeing this year. But what I am looking forward to tomorrow is talking to you both again, and with Regina, Saskatchewan's own Ryan Getzlaff. That's nice. What's up, my guys. Yes. Thank you for joining us. We got him on the program. We'll have a lot of great conversations as well. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Off the Roster. Shout out, Regina.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more Off the Roster content, make sure to like and hype this video and subscribe to the Nation Network YouTube channel.